can start. Good luck. Have fun. Whenever you're ready. All right, they might still be resolving mulligans. I saw some shuffling.
While they're resolving mulligans, I was talking to David earlier today, and I said that he, as the champ of the last 12 months or whatever it's been, he's just the 90s MTG Undertaker, and the goal now is to try and end the streak for everybody. That's a wrestling reference. Only so many people are going to get that.
Well, David Thomas Tao has won 4 weeks in a row now. He's won the finals 4 weeks in a row. So he's the champion for a month, basically. And I guess I don't know how the chat is feeling, how the fans are feeling, but we want to see a new champion dig through Tao.
So we started this game off. We got Flooded Strand fetch into Ponder, and now we got an opposing Flooded Strand fetch. We're going to see a fully foiled build from Basic Island Hot Tech. Hot Tech. Hot Tech.
I believe Roland's... Oh, no, I didn't update the cardboard live. I'll do that for you guys now. Sorry about that.
All right, so Basic Island. Basic Island's a really good way to start against Delver. Also, Delver, Volk Ponder likely means that the threat in hand that Cali kept is a 2-drop. So I would think that we can expect to see a 2-drop backed by Days if that's what he was building this Ponder off of. But this Island Delver start from Roland means that we might get pressure. The pressure might come from his end, so Cali might switch it up and play a more control role this game if he's got the tools for that. He's going to fetch his first black source, getting a UC, and yeah, he's slamming that Arcanist. I think if you're a Delver opponent and they go into turn one not threat, it's likely that they have a 2-drop threat because they're not going to keep a threatless hand. And the Days fight is just what we thought. He either had the Days already or found it off the Ponder to preempt this play. So now with that Ponder, that means that this Arcanist is a real threat, and you're seeing that from Roland's side, who's going to throw a Force Will at it as well.
Yeah, he's willing to go down an extra card, an extra 2 cards, I guess, to try to stop this Arcanist, which goes back to what we were saying in round 1. Arcanist, a resolved Arcanist with options in the yard, like Ponder in this case, is really good in the mirror.
Yeah, and it's regardless of what happens, like obviously you'd like to resolve this Dreadhorde, but the Dreadhorde trading for both a Daze, a Force, and a True Name Nemesis is really strong, especially with a Delver that's flipping blind right now.
Yeah.
And it's not going to flip. So this is I think this is actually a really strong position for Cali because now he's still going to have the mana advantage because they both dazed. So he hasn't lost that yet. And the only punishment that he took for that entire exchange was he went up a card and lost a point of life.
Now, here's what you don't want to happen if you're Roland. Volk, Dreadhorde. I've been there.
Yeah, follow-up Dreadhorde would be excellent here. I mean, really any threat from Cali's side would be solid at this point.
Yep.
And he's just going to slam a Sprite Dragon. So we'll see if he swings. I imagine he will. There's no reason to hold it back. But Roland's really going to be throwing all of his resources at trying to stop these first couple of threats. I guess he's got to be looking for a Daze here or at least second land plus removal spell. It's interesting. It feels. Tell me what you're thinking here. It feels like Roland's really, really pushing to try and move all in on this Delver.
That, and maybe he's hoping to. He figures, screw it. Maybe I'll see a Daze on top and stop the Sprite Dragon. That could be what he's thinking. And there it is. That's exactly what it was. And that Daze is amazing at the moment.
Yeah, Daze trading for 2 mana there is really solid. I mean, the thing is that it still leaves Roland on 1 mana, so he's going to be behind 1 mana to 3 mana if Cali has a land drop. That's not necessarily entirely backbreaking with all of the Dazes that have been played already, but we'll see. I mean, he's been surviving on this one island, so.
If you didn't know better, would you think Roland was on some kind of a
mono blue Delver? Yeah. No, he's definitely on. My guess is he's on.
You can't see the decks in front of you, right? The decks are on the stream, but.
Okay, yeah. It's. Let's see what he's got here.
Pure Dane.
All right, yeah, so he's just on straight blue red.
Yeah.
I mean the mana advantage. Tale as old as 2011.
What's up, Leon? How you doing, man?
No, dude, it's not. This is a different version of Delver. Roland brought Food Chain Delver to this matchup.
Yeah.
He's experimenting with some combination of cards. Pretty interesting.
Spell Pierce on that Fatal Push. Seems great.
Whoa, 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 guys in the chat, break up this feud. Break up this feud that's breaking out in the chat right now. It's getting out of control.
Bring me Leon as a challenger. Leon, I have you penciled in for next week. You can message me later if you're available. I was going to message you, but now everybody's putting me on the spot.
Wow, scheduling mid combat. We had a schedule. So Cali decides to go Brainstorm, puts back to cast a Bolt on the Delver. It would be great if he was just like bolt your face. Don't even care about that Delver.
Great, but also a bad play.
You don't know. Cali is a legacy champ. We got another Force of Will, pitching a Brazen Borrower. So it seems as though in another days, so this is where the mana advantage is going to start to come back into play because he just got 2 for 1 again.
Yeah.
He's on low resources. He's down in mana. This is where I imagine the turning point is for Cali. But there's an Arcanist. That's going to be a big deal. It looks like Roland on low resources is going to either need to find a second land, specifically a red land, and then kill that thing, or he's just going to fall way too far behind because he's behind on mana. He's soon to be behind on cards, and right now he's behind on board. A Ponder to start. I imagine this has to be looking for a second land drop.
Yep.
Although Roland hasn't even really had that many opportunities to make a second land drop because of all these dazes that have been happening. He's going to shuffle this away, so this is what you want to be seeing if you're on Rich's side of the board. This feels like a dominant position from Cali's side.
It does. I mean, Roland has 2 cards in hand. We have not seen any removal spells from him yet. Otherwise, he probably would have played things a lot differently. So,
well, it's possible that if his opponent is, if Rich is putting him on any type of Delver and only having basic island, then it's very possible that Rich just puts him on 2 cards that are uncastable in his hand because they're off color. And this Wasteland is looking real anemic here. I would sandbag this. I wouldn't fire it off. He's firing it off. I would think you would want to sandbag it if.
Well, the defense for firing it off would be just preventing this from getting way out of hand by a Gurmag.
Yeah.
Izzet MTG,
Yo,
thanks for the
what
raid.
it do?
We're getting
what
raided.
it do, baby?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 90s MTG. This is round 2. And we are in an intense Delver mirror.
Also, for anybody who has, we have a double Delver drop by Rich Cali. This game is getting well out of reach for Roland here. For anybody who hasn't been also tuning in to watch Anzi D MTG, who just raided us with 84,000 people, you're gonna want to check his out too. He plays a lot of Entreat the Angels. He does really good work with Entreat the Angels. He's a really Entreat the Angels master. What'd it do?
Well said. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
All right, so what is the line that Roland even has to get back in this game off this Ponder? It's just got to be, what, like land plus Fork Bolt. But, I mean, he's playing it out, but it seems like we have a Preordain. We have 2 Delvers that have flipped over. We're about to get an Arcanist that's going to pick up another cantrip. I think we're going through the motions here, but this is going to be one game up on Rich Cali's side. For people who haven't experienced the magic that is Entreat the Angels, Mystic Sanctuary, and Entreat the Angels, I highly recommend it. Wow, anonymous gifter. Wow.
Black Caesar, thanks for the follow. What's up?
Yo, the champion of 90s MTG, the current reigning champion, just got a gift sub. It's pretty sweet.
That is
another
sweet.
Arcanist. Another Arcanist. This is getting brutal. This is just, I can't look at Roland's face right now. He's getting beat up.
Yeah, this isn't looking good.
I really think it came down to the lack of lands on Roland's side really compelled him to start trading resources aggressively to protect that Delver. But riding one Delver all the way to victory seems like a really implausible plan for any Delver, because we saw that in round 1 as well, where a Delver was attempted to be protected all the way through and just got to like 11 life, and now we see it get to 10 life, and it's just not. It doesn't seem to be like a foolproof plan for the Delver Mirror. There's too much action to deal with it.
I take the approach of where most of the time my Delver opponent tries to bolt my Delver, and I'm like, yeah, cool, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So Roland knew that he was going to be out of that for a couple of turns, but he needed to find the bolt and go to the face to get the psychological advantage, which I can respect.
Okay. So maybe next week's bingo card will have. Oh, we're getting started here. Next week.
Yep. We got a Flooded Strand from Roland, followed by we're in a mirror match. Although one Flooded Strand clearly stronger than another, but functionally the same at this point.
This is true.
Yes, just there are 3 tutors sitting on the table right now.
Roland won a world championship with Mongrel. Yeah, it's true.
4 tutors. The first one's going to get cracked. I wonder what the correct configuration of fetches is in a Grixis shell. They're all blue. It doesn't matter. That was a joke.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with a preordained.
I couldn't tell you were joking.
Banuchi, you got to remember, just because I tell jokes doesn't mean that they're funny jokes. There's got to be a different word for jokes that aren't funny.
They're just not called jokes.
Oh, is that what they're called? They're just called comments? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, I fetched from Roland here.
Yeah, Roland has a really nice style with his fetch lands. When he fetches, he like pumps them forward. He's like, fetch this.
This is true. Isamaru was played when White Weenie Luris was a thing. Is that true? I don't know.
Yo, Isamaru is going to come back, man. Isamaru Moxa Ember, let's go.
Leonin Arbiter, that's a cat. All right.
All right, if you are rich, how many wastelands did you board out?
Oh, it's a good question. Probably 1 or 2.
At least 2, right?
I would say 1 or 2. That's what I would do. 1 or 2. So because I still want to hit my 3 drops. Well, I don't know. I'm not playing his exact deck, but I had like Brazen Borrowers and True Names in my deck, so I just left in Wastelands for extra mana.
This is my kind of magic. This is gentleman's magic. A preordain followed by a brainstorm on the opposing side of the table. It's just nothing but land drops and cantrips. This is magic as Richard Garfield intended.
It's kind of a big contrast from last week, right, where we had you playing Urza Thopter, we had Greg playing Reanimator, we had Roland was playing Mono Red Prison. It was just
it was a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense last week, and now we're seeing 3 different variants of Delver.
Yeah. I guess Rich made everybody switch to Delver.
Everybody knew. They were like, I gotta meet this guy at his best.
Yeah.
You gotta beat the man to be the man.
Speak his language, yeah.
Yo, Prismatic Vista is so insane to me in Blue-Red, because that means that he's maxed out on Tarns, obviously, but then he's so committed to basics that he's not just playing like the 4 Volks plus, right? He's like, no, Vistas first.
Yeah.
That's like, and it's just gonna blank that Wasteland. That Wasteland is just generic mana. But we have an Arcanist, which is the predominant threat in this matchup, as we've learned, and it sticks. It just sticks for free.
I would bet Roland. I mean, if he has counter magic and he's choosing not to use it, he has a bolt ready.
He's got to have a Hydroblast. I imagine that he's playing some number of Hydroblasts in the board, and he's just going to go double fetch here. He's going to get both. No, he's thinking about it. He's reconsidering. Nah, he's like, all right, double fetch. Is he going to slam a Jace the Mind Sculptor here? Please. He's not.
I don't think
he's not.
everybody.
Everybody in the chat, come down.
Why
and here comes the mountain.
Here? What is he trying to do?
My guess is he could just be slamming a 3-drop through a daze. I can't think of why else he would double fetch right now.
Chat, we will see cat and dog on next week's bingo card. The decision is made.
Like if he's slamming what TNN, that it means that he can't get it days plus Pyroblasted with a fetch on the stack. So he's playing around multiple pieces of interaction here.
That makes sense.
And he's lined up his mana in such a way that it would lead. Oh, Blood Moon.
Blood Moon, wow.
Hello. Blood Moon, leave up red mana.
So Blood Moon is a card that blue-red Delver has access to that none of the other Delver decks can really play. And it's more often than not been game over when I've stuck it.
Yo, but Cali has the island tech. Let's go.
That's true, he does.
Yes,
I said more often than not.
These games are live.
I didn't say every time.
These games are live. Banuchi's alive. I'm alive. At least, you know, as much as I can be.
Yep.
Yeah, conducted virtually. You got it. So yo, this island.
That's why he double fetched. He wanted to have no fetches in play when that Blood Moon resolves. It makes more sense now.
And the Bolt follow-up. Yo, what a control game Roland has switched to.
Yeah. He's played this
so
really
now,
nicely.
Cali has no access to black mana if he can't remove this Blood Moon, which I don't know how he can. I guess he has Brazen Bar or to tempo it. But he will still have access to the majority of deck. He's just not going to have access to Gurmag that we know about and any black cards that he's boarded in.
Right.
We have to assume he's boarded in some number of black cards.
Well, let me take another look at, and everybody at home can do the same, Rich Cali's sideboard.
That's one thing that happens with Blood Moons is brainstorms get a lot worse because you're never going to be able to fetch them away anymore. So your follow-up brainstorms are going to be a lot worse than if you had your fetch lands, but Roland is displaying that it can still be used in tandem with a lot of what's left, which is he's stacked his Delver. We know that's going to flip next turn.
All right.
And it looks like it looks like it's just going to be traded with, yeah.
So, other than petty theft, bouncing it and it comes back again.
Yep.
There's no way for, well, if he bounces it and then if he for some reason brought in Thoughtseize or counters it, yeah, then that's a possibility.
See, I think this is, I mean, these wastelands that are in the deck here, I get that you still need some density of lands to produce mana because you can cast things with them. But in your Sprite Dragon deck, I think after seeing this many basics plus the Blood Moon plan, those two wastelands that Cali has, I imagine he's seen two of the two ones that he left in. I have to imagine he boarded some number out. And I can't imagine that they stay in the deck afterwards.
Yeah.
If we go to a game 3.
If we go to a game 3, I would bet he would think about taking them out. Unless, of course, he wants the mana, which is usually my reason for leaving them in.
Yeah, I've just gotten lawyered by the chat. Cali was like, you know what? I'm leaving the Wastelands in the face of Blood Moon because they can cast Sprite Dragon now. Geez, I'm going to pack it up. I got nothing left to contribute.
True name.
Bam.
Seems good. Power Blast.
Yeah, cross Merfolk off the bingo card.
Oh, you're right. Good catch.
Oh no, it didn't stick. It got power blasted. Never mind. Take it back. No bingo for you.
Fair enough.
Yo, this is such a this is such a different Delver game than we've seen in any of the other ones that have happened tonight.
You're right. A lot more foil cards too.
Another Delver on Roland's side. See, Roland was like, I really want to play Mono Red Prison, but I also want to play Delver. And he was like, I'm just going to combine my two decks together.
He met them halfway, yeah. All right.
Bang.
Pyromancer seems pretty good.
Peasy's going to be very good on this board. If it resolves, which it seems like Roland is thinking about right now.
Well,
do you think let's if PZ resolves, do you think that Cali is still behind, or do you think he's favored?
Depends on what's in his hand, really. I mean, if he was hellbent right now, I would say he might not be favored. But if he has like two bolts and a ponder in his hand, he's favored. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take the hardline stance on the opposite side. I think if this PC resolves, it's gonna be good, but he's still gonna be way behind on board, simply because Roland having access to more blue mana in full grips, and now a bolt who showed on top. I can't imagine that he doesn't just fire off this bolt immediately.
Do you Russo thanks for the follow?
He could wait to dodge Force of Negation.
He could.
He could. He's also way ahead. He might just be thinking, I'm gonna, until I have reason otherwise, I'm just gonna sandbag it and throw it at his face later on.
This is true.
This young Pyromancer is going to be taxed by that Blood Moon. One blue source means that the cantrips are not going to be chaining together. So this young Pyromancer is significantly slowed down.
Do we know if Roland has Pyromancers in his deck? He does. Yes. Wasn't sure. So, Roland's running Sprite Dragon, I believe, right? Oh no, he's not. Never mind.
No,
I'm confusing them.
This seems to be a much more controlling version of Blue Red Delver. Yeah. Like he's gone a little bit bigger. He's playing a couple of hate pieces. He's playing more lights out cards than normal versions of Blue Red, which are just trying to get you dead, would be playing.
Yep. What did Rich cast? Oh, a Brainstorm. Okay.
Rich cast Brainstorm. He now has another elemental token. It's getting pierced, which I can't imagine isn't just immediately paid for, because those are 2 mountains.
Yeah. Wonder why he's doing that. I guess figuring why not.
Well, I think that you're also in a position where this pierce in face of this much mana on the opposing side of the table is not going to be very good. And right now you're pressuring ahead with Delver. And by doing so, you're trying to just get in chips of 3. And you still have a bolt in your hand. So Roland might be thinking it's time to get aggro.
Oh, okay. So he's spell piercing and dazing here.
So this Brainstorm is going to get countered because it has a pierce, but a second daze is going to catch that Brainstorm. So now the race is on. We know about a bolt left and a Delver on the table for Roland.
Yep.
And he's facing down 4 power on the other side of the table. And black cards are off the market.
And there's Bolt. Pyromancer is likely a goner now.
Yeah, looks like there's 2 cards left. No, he's got 3. Roland has 3 cards in hand, but 2 of them are islands that he picked up.
Right.
So.
All right, so now the 2 elementals, I'm assuming, will just jam here.
So now this Bolt is going to go after the Delver, and that's that. So Roland now potentially on the back foot. This game is still pretty wide, I think. It's pretty wide open now that Delver is off the table.
Yeah. I mean,
it's 2 islands to 2 tokens. And it looks like Cali has just a couple of cards left in hand. You know what would be insane? Dude, you know what would be insane right now? Chat, get in this with me. We need to see Vidalcan Shackles. Dude, it's not too far off.
You never know.
Vidalcan Shackles would be sick. All right, back to real cards. 6 mana, 2 tokens, bash. Hit you in the face. Preordain off this 1 island. 1 island, 5 mountains. Let's go.
Preordain.
What's Cali looking for? Bottom of black card, probably?
Well, I would be hoping to find my Brazen Borrower.
Brazen Borrower is a big pickup.
Let's see what else he has. Yeah. I think Brazen Borrower is pretty key here. Sprite Dragon would also be pretty good. Dreadhorde would be pretty good. Yeah, he's looking for creatures, I would bet. He knows Roland doesn't have removal. Right? Well, he could still have removal, I guess.
Roland's hand is running very, very low on resources at the moment because of that big soft counter magic trade, but the clock of these 2 tokens isn't all that devastating. It's still a 5-turn clock away, but this Arcanist is going to be a big game big game if it sticks here.
You know, when we were talking about in round one, the interaction in the first couple of turns with wastelands and whatnot, it's these micro decisions though that we've seen throughout these 2 rounds so far that I don't want to say like prove who the good players are, but those micro decisions are so important in determining the outcome of the game that you have to know what you're doing or you get wrecked. Would you agree?
I would, and we're seeing right now that that Arcanist stuck, and then it attempted to get bounced off of a Brazen Bar that got pyroblasted, and we're seeing that these the resources that Cali has decided to exchange have really been pinpointing on the things that matter. He understood that this Arcanist was going to be the thing that got him back. I imagine that he was setting up for that, and now he's getting paid off for sure. And now he's just going to get to bolt this Arcanist back. And he's going to stifle in your Blood Moon deck. Let's go.
A Braid here.
Yep, a Braid's going to take down the Arcanist. This is like these exchanges, going back to empty, reloading, back to empty again. I think this is going to snowball from here if a removal spell is not found off the top. Or at least a cantrip to find one, because this Arcanist is going to be able to recoup a lot of resources here.
You can also flashback Bolt, which puts this game in range.
Well, a Bolt here...
It ends the game.
Lethal, yeah?
Yep.
As long as we... Oh, he's going to stifle it again. Okay, so we're throwing cards into the face of this Arcanist while we get chunked in the face on Roland's side, and he's got 1 turn left. He's got multiple threats, so he's going to need to find something big, and it's double Pyroblast, and it's not going to do it.
Let's tune into the players.